জাগাৰ তলত হৈ যায় হৈ যাব আগত যেনেকৈ লগা আছিলে এনেকৈ লগা আছিল প্লাষ্টিক মোক লিংক জুম কৰিব নোৱাৰি পাৰি নেকি অঁ এনেকৈ
In the silent race of Vulture lies a loud message from nature. Protect the cleaners of our skies, for in saving them, we safeguard the balance of life itself. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Associate Dean, Dr. Umaram Tamuli, sir. Esteemed speakers of today's BioTalk, Mr. Sachin P. Ranade, sir. Mr. Ghanasham Gogoi, sir. And Mr. Gitartho Bora, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this special gathering of BioTalk series organized by LAKHIMPUR College of Veterinary Science. I am pleased to inform that there is always an intellectual involvement from the student union members in all the events that held in this institute. And today, we are live in the Student Union YouTube channel. Today, we are honored to have with us Mr. Sachin P. Ranade, sir, Assistant Director and Scientist of Bombay Natural History Society, BNHS. He is also currently working as Senior Center Manager at Vulture Conservation and Breeding Center, RANADE, a name that echoes over 140 years of unwavering commitment to India's wildlife and natural heritage. To begin with, I would like to call upon stage our Associate Dean, Dr. Umaram Tamuli, sir, our esteemed speaker, Mr. Sachin P. Ranade, sir, and Dr. Nayanjyoti Pathak, sir. Also, I request the student union members to kindly escort them to the dais. Once again, I extend my warm welcome and heartfelt gratitude to everyone present. I'm Archita Kashyap, and I will be your host today as we journey through discussion, presentation that celebrate biodiversity and lead us towards sustainable living. Moving next, now I would like to request our Associate Dean, Dr. Umaram Tamuli, sir, to kindly felicitate Mr. Sachin P. Ranade, sir, with a Fulan Gamusa and a memento as a token of respect and gratitude. request Dr. Nayanjyoti Pathak sir to kindly felicitate our Dean sir with a Fulam Gamusa. Now I request Dr. Sanjeev Khargaria sir to kindly felicitate Ghanesham Gogoi sir. I request Dr. Manjula Regan ma'am to kindly felicitate Mr. Gitartha Borua sir. Thank you everyone. Now I would like to request Dr. Umaram Damuli sir to kindly offer the inaugural speech for today's BioTalk. Sir, please.
Namaskar. Very good afternoon to everybody. So today we are happy that one renowned scientist among with us. He is from long journey from Bombay. Although we now resided at Guwahati, that he is Mr. SACHIN P. RANADE. He is the Assistant Director of Bombay Natural History Society. So we are very happy that like he is a renowned scientist we are getting in our college. So at outset, we hearty welcome from the fraternity of the College of Veterinary Science with a clap. So Mr. Ghanesham Gogoi, he is a biologist. Also, he is coming with him in our college regarding the today's BioTalk on the Vulture conservation. And another fellow, the Gitartha Borua, he is also a biologist. The same, the forum, also is coming our college, also welcome to him also. Actually, I have no time today, but I know my computer is open. Today I will have more in academic meeting. So, hearty welcome to all of you. That it is a very recent and very important topic that you are coming to discuss our college. And being a veterinary college, our students are very much aware with the livestock as well as our birds. You know, the vulture is a very important bird which also clean our earth. And different dead body of the any carcass has been cleaned by the vulture. But nowadays the people are harming that vulture because the people are doing the harmful, very pesticides or harmful items to found over the dead body, and accordingly the dead body is consumed by the vulture and accordingly they dead. And also some few days back or some diclofenac, the medicine also was the harmful for the vulture. But I don't like to tell more things because scientist is here, so he will discuss one and all for you. So I request Mr. RANADE, you please talk very openly with our faculty members are here. So my students are here, but I will not be with you because my meeting is going on. So, well, once again, on behalf of the faculty of the Veterinary College, I congratulate and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm pleased to inform our respected speaker, sir, and the audience that today's BioTalk series is on the topic Vulture Conservation in India. And Dr. Nayanjyoti Pathak, sir, took the front foot initiative to conduct this session. I'm also overwhelmed to inform you, sir, that previously we have successfully conducted such BioTalk where legendary speaker Dr. Dipom Kumar Borman, also known as Debottom Okhom, was also part of this series. And today, Lakhimpur College of Veterinary Science is privileged to have you with us and looking forward for another successful BioTalk series to be added to the list. Today we came together not just to talk about a bird, but about an entire ecological guardian, the vulture. Once common in our sky, vulture now face an alarming decline, making our conservation efforts not only urgent but absolutely essential. The Bombay Natural History Society, with over 140 years of legacy in wildlife research and conservation, has taken pioneering steps in protecting India's vanishing vultures through science, advocacy, and collaboration. We are honored to have among us Mr. Sachin P. RANADE sir, Assistant Director and Scientist at BNHS, and currently he is working as Center Manager at Vulture Conservation and Breeding Center, which is located in LAKHIMPUR. He has tireless efforts to become a cornerstone in India's vulture revival story. He is a conservative strategist and field innovator. He oversees operation and the vulture conservation breeding across Assam and West Bengal. He has also guided many captive breeding, health monitoring, and the soft release of critically endangered vulture. He also manages scientific breeding initiatives, avian health protocols, and coordination with field networks. Under his leadership, the Buxa Aviary in the year 2021 in February and in the same year in August, Kyoleto Aviary show dozens of vulture acclimatizing and integrating into wild flow. He was featured speaker at events like Vulture and Their Conservation, Bird Talk, sharing expertise and raising public awareness. I'm also pleased to inform that Mr. RANADE sir has multiple international and national articles with over 1496 citations having H index of 14 and I10 index of 16. He spearheaded the first ever captive bred releases of white-rumped vulture in West Bengal and Haryana, an unprecedented milestone in Indian vulture conservation. Now, let's hear more from leading expert Mr. Sachin P. RANADE sir. I request him to kindly deliver the presentation and give us an overview of the vulture conservation effort led by their team. So please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible? Yes. It's very nice to see all of you. All of you are veterinarians. All of you are doctors. All of you understand somebody's pain. And especially the veterinarians are the best people in the world because they understand the pain when their patient can't tell it. So, in the other countries, other than India, the veterinarians have more importance than the MBBS doctor. Why? Because the human being can tell, the human being patients can tell doctor, more mane, all of mane dukh ase, enuka bya ase, tenuka ase, matha sakkar khai ase. But the animal can't tell. and doctor, the veterinarians have much more intelligence to understand just by observing the animal, the birds. So I am very happy, I am very pleased, and first of all, I would like to express that I'm really sorry I was a bit late, and that's why this program is slightly delayed. But I am very happy that you are all patient, and not patient, but you have the patience, and all of you are here, and I wish that you will be talking with me. I don't want to give lecture and you will be sleeping, and I don't want all that thing. Does this thing happen? Huh? I can't hear you.
No, sir.
Yeah, because there are no lights, and I think that it is already too late. You must have taken lunch, and there are good chances that you may be going to the dreamland. So, sorry for interrupting that, but I want you to be talking. It should be a conversation. So, what you are seeing there is the slender-billed vulture. Okay? In all of you understand Assamese or how? All of you understand Assamese, okay? In Assamese, there are different names, there are local names, and in English, there are different names. But interestingly, our Indian culture has a very good point of view for the vultures and the wildlife. Do you agree with this? Compared to the Western culture, we have a very good point of view towards our own wildlife. Okay, do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Because all our devatas, their vahans, their vehicles, their symbols, everything has depiction of wildlife. So, we know the value of wildlife. So, here you are watching a slender-billed vulture with its young one that is born in captivity. Today, we will be talking about vultures. Generally, we don't talk about. Okay? So, in our culture, we talk about lion, tiger, somebody fought like tiger, somebody fought like eagle, isn't it? Or like a cobra. But we rarely talk about vultures. Unfortunately, we are forgetting our culture. But in our culture, the vulture has a great role, and if you know, Jatayu was the vulture. And now we are working on the vulture. So, first of all, I would like to acknowledge that I am not the only person, or I am not alone taking the glory, but we were supported by different NGOs, different governmental initiatives from India as well as UK, and all of them were working together to bring the success. So, talking a few words about BNHS. BNHS means Bombay Natural History Society. A very long name. Why it is so? Because in 1883 there were 8 people. Just like today, there is a great facility for you and me that we are talking in an AC room. But in 1883 there were 6 Britishers or Americans or mixed. I mean, foreigners were there. 6 of them were from outside India, 2 were from India. All 8 people were sitting in the Mumbai, and they were discussing that we should do something to share our knowledge. And to share their knowledge, they started a NGO. That time it was called as a Bombay or Bombay Province. That's why the name was given as Bombay. What we were going to work about, it was a natural history, means whatever going on in the wild, in the nature, that they were going to explore, and society. So that's why it has a long name, Bombay Natural History Society. And what we do, we mainly work on birds, but we are working on the reptiles, insects, mammals, trees, plants, everything. So all the things, whatever related to Mother Nature, we are working on. Here you can see there are 4 different photographs, and what is same in that, we are handling the birds. And birds are such a wonderful creature in the nature that they travel thousands of kilometers. If we'll talk about human being, or dogs or even tiger, we hardly travel 20, 30, 40 kilometers in a day. And routinely we don't travel that much also. But vultures, eagles and other birds travel hundreds of kilometers and they goes almost to different hemisphere. So here you can see there is one eagle that I tagged in Kaziranga and it has a fitted with a small transmitter, and those eagles right from Kaziranga travel directly to Mongolia. Okay, so it was a fantastic journey. Nobody has thought about that. We could understand because of the development of technology, because of the transmitter. Earlier what used to happen? We used to put a small ring in the leg of a bird. So just like this watch, the bird have a very small ring. It is made of aluminium. It has a fold, and with that ring, the bird would be traveling. So it is called as ringing. Okay, and when somebody, some other scientist in that part of the world would notice that bird, then we come to know that that particular bird has traveled so long distance. But now we have this transmitter. They have the GSM or PTT technology, and accordingly they are called. But this is today's development. What used to be there in India earlier? This is the one photograph you can everybody can identify. Huh? What is that? Jatai. What is the second one? First one was very easy thing because I already disclosed it was called as Jatai. What is about second one? Since you are very close, you are based in Upper Assam, you are close to Kaziranga. You can see there is a bird eating fish in the upper shade. Can you? When there was no such thing that there is tagging, there is putting thousands of money, so on, that time the king or the priest in India used to spread some message to its people. And how they used to tell it? They used to put one mural or art in the temple or in their fort. And then what they used to depict there, what message they want to give. Those were not days of the mobile or newspaper or magazine. But the message used to be conveyed and people used to understand what it means. So the mural depicts, it is from Numuligarh side, now very close to the Kaziranga, and it is from the Devparva. The upper one part showing a grey-headed fish eagle, and its maximum, biggest population is still found in Kaziranga only, and that is one of the success, that is one of the wisdom, that the king has understood what is important, what is available, what is to be preserved. So the first depiction is of the grey-headed fish eagle. Below that there is a swan. Okay, they wanted to show there that there is a good population of migratory ducks and geese. Okay, so in the mythology we used to call everything like a swan, isn't it? हाँ इसीलिए है ना, नर दमयंतीर कथा होगो बा आरु बेलेग बेलेग कथा होगो है ना. So below is a duck or geese, whatever may be, and it is having a lotus flower. Okay, so those people also have idea about wildlife. They know that we should preserve the wildlife, and birds are the most important entity in the wildlife. So India is a very big country, and what we call it as, it is almost like a part of continent, isn't it? Subcontinent. So in a common terminology, we call Indian subcontinent. Okay, it also has part of Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan, everything is there. Although they are separate countries, practically it is the same, isn't it? And this big area have the richest biodiversity in the world, especially talking about vultures. How? India has 9 species of vultures which are found otherwise nowhere together. Okay? In the world, there are 23 species, but in the overall world, that is, there are vultures in the New World, like South and North America, then Europe, Africa, Asia, all these areas, if you cover, they will be having total 23. But India alone has 9 species. These are all scientific names written. In the green, they are all together, they belong to genus Gyps. They all of them look alike. Unfortunately, next to the first row, the first column, there is another column where I have written the scientific names. And unfortunately, there you can see all different colors, isn't it? And they are indicating their status. So, the white-back vulture, long-bill vulture, slender-bill vulture, and red-headed vulture in India are now critically endangered. That means if we won't save them, they will completely vanish from the earth. Why so? Because they are found in India only. If we won't be able to save them, they will be completely wiped out from the face of earth. So it's very important. So here you can see very beautiful red colored bird. It is a red-headed vulture, or also called as king vulture. They are very few. They are solitary, and that's why people thought that they are the king of the vulture flock. There is a one very huge black color bird. It is known as the cinereous vulture. It is coming to India from Europe, and it is, when you will see it, it is a this big and completely look like a monk, and that's why its scientific name is Aegypus monachus. Okay, monachus means it is looking like a monk wearing a very huge black color suit. There are some beautiful white color birds. They are called as Egyptian vulture. Although they are called as Egyptian vulture, they are found in India also. And they had a very important location. They had a very important place in Egyptian culture. Why? Because the king in Egyptian culture used to consider it as a sacred bird. That's why they are very important. And the fourth one is the bearded vulture. And it is also very rare, very beautiful bird found only in the high Himalayas. But we are concerned more about these typical birds. So I hope you might have seen such color, brown color vultures. They are called as Himalayan vulture. All of them are immature, and in the time of winter, all of them come down from the Himalayas, and they feed in the plains of India. And after winter is over, they again go back to the Himalayas. A similar bird travel almost 2000 kilometers. Its name is Eurasian griffon. But we are focusing on three birds, three species of birds. Why so? Because we are human beings and we are very selfish. Why we are selfish and why I am saying so? Because all these three species are found in India. They are found in large flocks, okay? In very big groups they are found. And what is their importance? They are the resident birds. They are found there all the time, throughout the year. And when there is a death of cattle, the human being do what? They just throw the animal outside, isn't it? Huh? Have you experienced this thing? In your villages, in your even towns, when there is a death of an animal, people just put it outside. Nowadays, they have started burying, but otherwise they used to put it outside. And these three species of vulture, which used to there throughout the year, they used to come and clean the carcasses. And that's why they are very important for the mankind. And out of them, the slender bill vulture is the most important because it is found in the Upper Assam only. In LAKHIMPUR also it is known. It is found in Shivsagar, Dibrugarh, Tinsukia areas, and it is a very typical vulture. You can see it has a completely black neck, and it is found only in Assam nowadays. Earlier it used to be spread all over Upper Gangetic area, means up to Haryana one can found. But nowadays very few of them are remaining in the Nepal Tarai region, and the other big chunk is in Assam only. So it is the Assam is the most important location for the slender-billed vulture. Similar bird, it is called as long-billed vulture. So you can see the long-billed also look like the slender-billed vulture, but it nests in the rock cliffs, and that's why these are two different species. You can see them what they are doing. What they are doing? What you saw? Yeah, somebody said it. The long-billed is nesting. So long-billed nest on rock cliffs, on mountains, whereas slender-billed nest on trees. Okay. So what are the salient features? I think everybody know that vultures are very big birds, but do you know that vultures are evolved from raptors? That means hunting birds. Okay, and we are thankful to them that today they are not hunting. अगर इतना बड़ा बर्ड अगर हंटिंग करने आएगा तो वो क्या कर लेगा, है ना? So before even Gandhiji knew about ahimsa, the vulture knew about the ahimsa. Okay, and what is the benefit? The vulture has benefit that they feed only on dead animals, so they need not run behind the prey. They need not chase their prey. Okay, they are just sitting and waiting. At the same time, the ecosystem is benefited. Why? Because whatever dead animals are there, they are get cleaned by the vulture. So both of them are benefited. Who? Vultures as well as the ecosystem, and that's why this thing is going very well for the thousands of years. So let us see that if there won't be vulture, like the today's situation, if there won't be vulture, then what will happen? Huh? In nature, if you will remove something, then the space will be occupied by something else. And I hope that all of you know better than me that India is the capital of what? Rabbits. Huh? Have you read about what are the diseases in dogs? Huh? Distemper is there, isn't it? And what will happen? These dogs will go out, they will feed on the carcasses, and then they will come back to the home. So they are mammals, they are feeding on the mammals, they will bring back all the bacteria, viruses back to their owner, who is also mammal. So there is a more danger of zoonotic diseases. In case of vultures, they are the birds, so there is a barrier in between. If there are no dogs, then the other things will thrive, and those are the flies. Okay, and ultimately where the flies will come? To our kitchen, right? So if you don't want these other things take over, then we should save the vulture. So save the vultures means what? How many vultures there used to be earlier? Can you see the photograph properly? Can you count the vultures?
Not.
Not only in the front ground, there are vultures on the buildings also, on the top also. So we have worked on the statistics, and we have prepared a model with a mathematical formula. There used to be 4 crore vultures in India. Okay, 4 crore. And now how many of them are remaining? There are not even 4 lakh vultures. So not even 1% remaining. So it is a very drastic decline. We come to know about this decline in Keoladiv National Park in Rajasthan, where we first time understood that the vulture number is very much declining, and then we carry out the vulture survey all over India. So we divided the different portions, northern, eastern, western, and everywhere we found that the vultures number was declining. We studied them outside protected area, we studied them in the national park. We found that the vultures decline even faster than dodo. Are you aware of the dodo? When we want to say something bad about somebody who is doing nothing, then we call it as a dodo, isn't it? But vultures decline even faster than that. Within 2 decades, almost all vultures are gone. Hardly few thousand vultures are remaining in the wild. So we started working on systematically that why these vultures are declining. So this is a long story. We have made short for this presentation that we started working on this problem. We found that food was not the problem. Food was there. Habitat was not the problem because vultures can accept all different kind of trees. Even if there are no trees, they can nest even on a house also. You can see there in the photograph. Huh? So habitat was not the problem. Then what was the problem? In 2004, we found that a drug called diclofenac was the culprit. Okay, and this paper was published in the journal. Its name is Nature. So when something is published in Nature, then it is thoroughly evaluated by the colleagues also, by the scientists also, by the all scientific community. So these things were thoroughly tested in India, in Pakistan, in South Africa. Everywhere the medicine was tested whether diclofenac really caused harm in the vulture, and we found the answer that yes, when an animal is treated with this medicine and that animal dies within 72 hours. What happens? When animal dies, its all other physiological activities stop. So that means it cannot excrete, it cannot throw out the urine, isn't it? So the diclofenac get trapped in its body. And in animal, you must be knowing where the toxins are gathered together. Where? Liver and kidney, exactly. So when such animal is thrown out, the vultures do their routine duty that they come, they feed on the animal and they get this high dose from the liver and kidney of these animals. And even in their blood and muscles also there is a small traces of diclofenac and other medicines could be there. So vultures get these high doses and vulture's body cannot tolerate the diclofenac. Okay. So vulture's own kidney is damaged. Okay. And you know that once the kidney is damaged, it cannot be replaced or repaired. Okay. So there a condition occurs. What condition will happen there? Visceral gout. So, what a silly question I am asking in front of the veterinarian, isn't it? Huh? When the uric acid is not thrown out, then naturally there is going to be visceral gout. So, the uric acid gets deposited on the soft organ in the viscera. And the vulture dies a very painful death. Okay, within 10 to 15 days, the vulture dies. The other unfortunate thing is that if there is a poison, vulture feed on it and it dies next to it, then we can very easily conclude that the vulture has eaten this and that's why it dies. But in this case, in those 10 days, the vulture travels hundreds of kilometers, goes to something secluded location or its nesting area, and there it sits, and afterward it becomes a very lethargic bird and it dies there itself. So collecting the samples was also a big challenge in those days. Somehow we collected sufficient number of samples and it was found that the dead vultures having visceral gout have the diclofenac traces and it has a perfect correlation. After understanding this thing, what we did, we informed this to the government of India, and the government took the first step that they put it in the special category, that is a Schedule 1 animal. Okay, and what the scientists from all over India did, we formed a body and we took a decision that if diclofenac is causing such a big problem, then it should be banned. And if we are going to ban something, some medicine, then we must have some alternative also, isn't it? And there is a need of a captive breeding. Why we need to captive breed these birds? Because we were in a very desperate situation. Okay, we had already lost 99%. Then The remaining 1%, you don't have any other assurance, but you have to breed the vultures and raise their number. So, when we want to ban the diclofenac, we have to look for the alternate. So, I hope all of you must be knowing about IVRI. Huh? So, with IVRI, we carried out series of tests and we found that meloxicam was the best medicine which was not causing any problem to the vultures. Okay, so meloxicam and tolfenamic acid are so far tested the good ones, whereas in addition to diclofenac, there are 3 more medicines were tested very harmful to the vultures. They are ketoprofen, nimesulide, and aceclofenac. So fortunately, slowly, government of India has banned all the 4 medicines. So the last one was banned in 1st of January 2025. Nimesulide was banned on 1st of January. So talking about breeding, so we decided that there should be a certain number which will be giving us a viable genetic population of the birds. We cannot restore all those 4 crore. Is it possible? No. Getting or preparing 4 crore of vulture, it is not possible for the mankind. But we should breed sufficient number of vultures which will be genetically viable. And that's why we started 4 centers in India. The first one we started in Haryana. Second one in West Bengal in the Baksa Tiger Reserve. Third one in Rani, where you can come, all of you are welcome. And the 4th one in Bhopal in the Madhya Pradesh. Okay. So, what is there in the breeding center? The infrastructure of all our vulture breeding centers are same. We have some big aviaries, big houses, they are called as colony aviaries. Smaller houses are called as holding aviaries. When we use the holding aviaries particularly for the young birds, then they are called as a nursery aviaries. And of course, there are hospital aviaries and the other facilities. So this one is the colony aviary where we give a flock of birds. The vultures like to be together in a small group. It is just like a human being. The vultures are very much evolved species. They are just like human beings. So you cannot keep 1 or 2 or only 2 vultures together, but if there is a group of them, then they are really happy. So how we keep them? This is a very big house. It is called as colony because a colony of vultures staying there. There are nest ledges and there is only netlon or a kind of a net on the top. And on the sides also there are very big windows. And you can see there is not a single pillar inside. So vultures can fly in that much area. They can form their bonding between them. They feed together and they take water. They can do all their behavioral different practices, and that's how we manage the vultures there. We want them to be completely wild birds as they are in the nature. We don't want them like a pet dog. Why so? Because this is a program to save the vulture and again reintroduce back to the wild. Okay? So when we are going to reintroduce them back to the wild, they must be as much wild as their counterpart. Okay? So here you can see them feeding together. When they are in a group, in a flock, they like to come together, they like to feed. There are different hierarchies, they want to maintain it. That is their knowledge. Just like in human being, you want to respect your teachers. You want to respect your elders. In the same way, it is taught to the vultures also. In our society, you say that suppose your friend is there and you are there and your friend is hungry, you say you take the food first. Similarly, in vulture's flock also, the hungry one will take the food first. In the vulture society, if the vulture is having young babies at the nest, then that vulture will have the food first. It will eat the food, it will store it in the crop, and it will carry it to their nest. So that vulture feed first. And the most important thing is that vulture pair for life. Just like human being, they form a bond, and in the life they have only one partner, and that means that much intelligence they have. Okay, that much social bonding they have. Okay, that is about the behavior. Coming to the thing that since we have so many vultures kept in captivity, so we have some basic facility, we have a laboratory, we are breeding two species at Rani. We are focusing in BNHS, we focus on three species, but at Rani we are focusing on two species. Why so? Because these are the resident vulture in the northeast India. Which are they? They are the white rump vulture and the slender bill vulture. Boga pitia aru lahi putia. Their name explains what they have. The boga pitia means they have the back white. When the bird is sitting, you can see its back completely white. And the other one is having a very slender, long, dark black color beak. That's why slender bill vulture. So you must be interested in their health and all the aspects. So we have to manage all those things in the colony aviary. We arrange their nest. We arrange the colony aviary. Routinely, once in a year, we have annual checkup where we take samples. We check randomly some 10% of the birds. So you must be wondering how we started this center. So as you want some seeds to start a new farm for the vulture breeding center, we have to collect the birds from the wild. And when we started this center, already there were very few birds remaining. So it was a very tedious job to collect the vultures because they are the flying birds. Okay, and it is very difficult to catch them. And that's why we decided to bring most of the birds as young birds. The most important benefit of bringing the young birds to the captivity is that when you are bringing the particular animal to a center or for the breeding purpose, that bird should be in such a stage that it will understand what is happening. Okay, so what will you advise if you want to bring a dog to your home? Will you bring a full-grown dog or a puppy? Huh? Puppy, because it gets acclimatized in that particular area. Similarly, there is another problem. In a dog or in other animals, you understand what could be its age. In vultures, there are only three stages you can understand. The first stage is juvenile, that sustains for first year. We call it as a juvenile. So right from the chick to the free flying bird in first year. So we can understand it is a juvenile from its plumage pattern. From second to fifth year, we call it as a sub-adult. There also we can identify the bird from its feather pattern. After fifth year, everything look alike. So a 5-year-old bird, vulture, and a 50-year-old vulture will look exactly alike. You cannot differentiate. So while bringing the birds for the breeding program, if you will bring in the 50-year-old bird, then it is useless, isn't it? So it is better to bring the young bird, make it, keep it for a few days, let it be adult, and let it start its own life cycle. So that was the more assured thing. For that purpose, we have to collect the birds from the tall trees because the white rump vulture and the slender-billed vulture both are tree nesters. So when we collect a young bird, we have to take it to the forest department. We have to prepare a paper for that. There is a very long, lengthy procedure. Some people may be thinking, and earlier it happened that people were thinking we have taken thousands and hundreds of birds. But that was not the situation because vulture lay only one egg. From one nest in one season, you will get only one baby. And when you will collect, we have to make all the scientific as well as official procedure complete. Prepare a TP for that. Then bring this bird to the nursery area. So just like human beings, the baby birds also need a nursery. The arrangement should look like a nest. And there should be 3-4 of them. So that the birds don't get imprinted. Otherwise, what will happen? They will every day they will see only human being bringing the food, feeding it, and going back. So they will think I am the baby of a human being. That should not happen. So we are keeping 3-4 birds together. They see each other, they interact, and that's how they grow. And for them, it's a very important phase. The vulture's babies grow very fast. So within 5 months of time, a tiny ball of cotton weighing hardly 200 grams grows to 5 kg bird. Okay, this is a very fast growth. The bird has to acquire a lot of protein, lot of calcium. Okay, and it has to take a lot of food, convert it to the body parts, and get big. At the end of 5th month, huh? At the end of 5th month, the baby becomes as big as his parents. The only difference in between them is the feather pattern. Okay. Otherwise, the birds are now equal. So only the thing is that the babies are sexually immature. Okay. It takes another 5 years. The bird gets size of the adult in 5 months, but maturity will come after 5 years, and that much time has to be spent in between. Okay, so it is a very fantastic, interesting journey, and we have taken some bird from rescue also. And when a new bird comes to our center, what marking we do? We put a small microchip in its pectoral muscle, and there are rings with numbers for the birds. We take several samples. We keep it for the bird in the quarantine aviary for 45 days. Can you guess why we are keeping it for the 45 days? A common disease in birds, 45 days. Which one? Anybody? What we want to avoid? Why we are keeping it for the quarantine? कौन सा है कॉमन डिसीज? रानीखेत नाम सुना है? So even if there are other diseases, we want to check those. So we thoroughly check the bird. We keep on testing it for different diseases, and at the end of 45th day, we can transfer the bird to the bigger aviary in the proper center. When we bring the bird, we either keep it in the holding aviary or we transfer it to the colony aviary. The colony aviary is set with the CCTV camera. So once it is kept in the colony aviary, we don't go close to the bird. We monitor, we carry out all the processes remotely. So we have these cameras and we record all their development. After maturity, the bird start nesting. The vultures nest in the winter. So in winter they form a nest. They prepare a nest. They lay a egg. Both male and female incubate the egg. So it is just like human being. So mommy and papa both are taking the care. Our common poultry takes how many days for the incubation? 21. Vulture takes 55 days. Okay, so that is because the size different, and when there is a size different in biology, there is a principle. There are two factors that dominate their life pattern: the R strategy or the K strategy. So elephant-like things, they mature, they take a long time for the maturity and give birth to only one. Okay, the rats, they breed very fast, they have smaller body and shorter lifespan. So vulture is like the elephant or like the human being. It takes a long time. The mother and father both invest a lot of energy in raising their young one. So a big egg is laid, and here you can see a young one come out after 55th day, and both of them feed to the young one. Both of them take care of the young one. And at the end of 5th or 6th month, the young one can come out of the nest. it can start freely fly. So it is just like their adult in size and weight, but it don't have the maturity. For maturity, again, it is going to take 5 more years. And that's how in the Rani we have bred slender bill vulture and white drum vulture successfully. So far we have more than 75 birds born in captivity. Okay, and BNHS have 4 breeding centers. We have more than 800 vultures together. This is a big number, and nowhere else in the world people have bred the endangered or critically endangered species so successful. But it has happened in your own country with your own people. Okay, so the next step will be why we did all this thing, breeding and all that thing, because we want to reintroduce this bird back to the wild. And when we decided that we want to release our vultures, which are born in captivity, since their birds, they are in this much big house, okay? So they can fly well, they have a good health, they have good behavioral pattern, but they don't know what, they don't have any experience of the wilderness, which is completely different thing. So we have to carry out one experiment that if we will release the birds, what will happen? So we got 6 white drum vulture, and you can see a wire coming out. Okay, so this is called as PTT. This is a small transmitter, literally of this much size only, and this was tied on their back. And these vultures were released here. Here it is the UP, this is Bihar, this is West Bengal, this is Bangladesh, here it is Assam, here is Bhutan, here you can see the Nepal. So the birds were here, released in the Nepal and India border. 6 of them had this this transmitter on their back, and then we carry out a study on all these birds, where they are going, where they are feeding. So we found some of the vultures stayed here only, whereas some of them were very adventurous. And can you see one vulture traveled this much distance here? It came to Assam also. Huh? Which part of Assam? Pokhara. Okay. So vultures on an average can travel 100-kilometer distance every day in search of food. Okay. So it is incomparable with any other animal. Every day it is traveling minimum 100 kilometers. It can travel even more than that. And why so? Because vultures have invented different strategies. They don't run behind their prey and don't waste energy. But when it wants to travel a longer distance, it just spreads its wing and go up. And in the upper part of the sky, there are air currents. So, not us, but the vultures know this fantastic thing of the geography, that there are air currents. Vulture find out this air current, and with that air current, without losing any energy, they travel 100 kilometers very easily. So, a wonderful way of traveling without losing energy, without carbon footprint, isn't it? So, in India, we are working on all these spots we have shown. So 10-15 locations in India, we are working only on vultures. BNHS is working on many other topics also, but on vultures we are working in all these points, and here we are working on the vulture reintroduction program also. Talking about vulture in Assam we started our work in 2007, and that time only we have decided that as we have taken the birds to captivity, someday we have to release them. So we have taken this part. And can you recognize which part of the Assam? I don't know. Which one is? Yes. So it is Upper Assam. And why it is Upper Assam? Because here are, this was actually port of slender bill. Okay. In those days, now not. Now the slender bill has still declined more. But in those days, in Majuli and all that areas, in Lakhimpur, in Jorhat, there used to be slender bill. So we have taken this part of Upper Assam. It covers 14 districts, and we work in all these 14 districts. Okay, and we want to make it as a vulture will be a zone which will be safe for vulture. What are the dangers for vulture? The NSAIDs. Okay, and there are some other dangers also. We will see those. So that's why we are studying vultures in wild also. When we are studying the vultures in wild, it is called as in situ study. When we bring the vultures to a captive breeding center, it is called as ex situ. Okay, so ex situ conservation, in situ conservation, both ways we are following to understand the growth, the decline, and the understanding of the vulture population. We are carrying out different surveys, and those are carried out scientifically. So one of the biggest danger is the NSAID. So we are carrying out the pharmacy surveys also. As it is a living animal, there are other dangers also. That electrocution also there. There are some accidents also, and the biggest curse for Assam is pesticide poison. Okay, so all these things are there, and we have to take care of vultures. Fortunately, Assam, I am very happy to say that Assam is having meloxicam is the one of the commonest medicine used as a painkiller. Okay, so this is one of the things that have caused successful conservation in Assam, and that credit goes to you people. The veterinarians should prescribe only safe medicines. Sorry, you are not agree with that? Huh? So I will keep on talking. Okay. So what are the other things we have to do? As I have said, that the vultures are found in the upper Assam, wherein there is a very good population, and currently we have a small station of Bombay Natural History Society in Demo. So do you know there in Shivsagar there is a small area, a small town named Demo, and the Demo has the specialty that there are a few vultures still remaining in the backyard of the people. Okay, in the backyard there are tall trees, and the vultures are utilizing that area particularly. And there are two species, slenderbill and whiteback. As I have told you already, that they are the tree nesting birds. So the birds are using that area. Demo has very good population of buffaloes and cows, and all the Brahmaputra belt has good population of cattle because of the footies. Are you aware of the footies?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is one of the good things, that the cattle are left on the islands and they are least treated by the medicine, isn't it? Otherwise, other people will think that, oh, in Assam it is a backward system. You are not giving it NSAIDs. You are not using any other medicine for getting more milk. You are not manipulating this thing, that thing. No, we are not manipulating, and that is the best in the favor of Mother Nature. As the NSAIDs are used in the least quantity, there are good food available in these different parts of the Assam. Okay, so here you can see a nest in the backyard of one of the farmers in Demo, and here we are carrying out Hazagata Sabha. We are carrying out a what? We are carrying out Hazagata Sabha. What is that? Harvest. I don't know. So, what we understand that vultures are long living, low breeding. Okay, currently we are at the lowest point, and how we are going to save them? By the public's opinion that we need to change. Okay, so let me show you that how we are planning to release the birds back to the wild. So fortunately, since beginning of this vulture project by BNHS, I was there associated. So I started the breeding center in Haryana, I started it in the West Bengal, and now I am in charge of the Assam center. This is something about West Bengal center because it started a bit earlier than the Rani center. In West Bengal, we have 3 species. Again, the same species: white rump, longbill, and slender bill. And we want to produce sufficient number of vultures. We want to bring 25 in captivity, make the number higher, about 200 birds, when we say that when we will be releasing the 200 birds back to the wild. For the release program, we have to construct one big house, and it should be in complete isolation. Since in West Bengal it was in the Baksa Tiger Reserve, we got one such location where there was no intervention of the human being, and we constructed a release aviary. The release is scientific process, and it is called as soft release. We are not just taking the bird in the box and just उड़ा दिया जैसे कबूतर उड़ा देते. So it is a soft release program. So we have all our vultures tagged. Patagian tag is there. On their back you can see there is a transmitter. On their leg there is a ring. In their skin there is a microchip. Our vultures, when we feed them, at the same time we put some meat outside the aviary, which is the release aviary. Why we are doing this thing? This is kind of thing we are inviting friends of our children for the birthday party. Do you know why people call friends of their children for the birthday party? Because then they know that there is a good socialization. Okay, so these are the friends of my children. They are feeding on the food. When the wild vultures are feeding outside, our vultures are feeding inside. They see each other. There is interaction. Our vultures understand that after feeding, they have to go and sit on a tall tree. Otherwise, they will stay like an idiot only, because they are born in the captivity. They are not facing any threat. We want to educate them. So once we fix that we are going to release the bird, we have this awareness program with the students, with the stakeholders, with the forest department, with the veterinarians, and with the common people. And when we think that there is a sufficient time has been spent on the awareness, we plan the actual release, we invite the minister, and from a distance, there is a one hide. From a distance, we slowly open the door of the aviary. So, in the release aviary, we have put our birds, and here you can see the gate is going upside. Can you see it? And vultures are very curious. For last 3 months, they have seen that when the food is given inside, at the same time food is given outside. And when the food is given outside, their friends are coming and having the party. So they are curious that the cake given inside was tastier or the outside one was the tastier. So they come out, and the vultures were kept in captivity for a long time, but the design of the aviary was such a successful that the vultures knew how to fly. So it come out, it tasted the meat for the first time outside the aviary. And what happened next? So this was the first flight of the bird in the wilderness. So now we have opened the door, the vultures have released, now they have started feeding outside. So we can understand that these are our vultures because they have the tag, or either they have the ring. And when there will be wild vultures, they are feeding together. And our vultures are kept in the captivity for a long time, so we don't know whether they are equal to the wild one or not. So that test was also carried out, and you can see in the clipping that all the vultures fed together. And you let me know which is the vulture born in captivity. Since it was a forest area, there were some casualties. First, we identified that the carcasses were safe for feeding to the vultures. They were not killed with any poison, or there was no any lead bullet or anything. And once we confirm it with our veterinarians, we put the big sambar carcasses outside, and that serve as a food for our vulture as well as wild vulture. So here you can see a flock of our vultures and wild vultures are feeding together. So it is a very slow process, lengthy process. Breeding itself takes 10-15 years. After that we are reintroducing. After that, first you have to keep the vultures in the release aviary. Once they get very well acclimatized for the environment, then they are released outside, and afterwards, so this is a different word. The study was carried out with camera traps. You know about camera traps? Have you heard about? So there are some cameras which work on their own. When there is sensor, they act. And so when there is a food, the whole ecosystem get benefit. So not only vultures, but there are other scavengers. Those are also benefited. Yeah, that's all. So that is how the release program goes on, and our vultures from Haryana as well as thank you. Our vultures from Haryana, West Bengal have already started preparing nests. They are breeding in the wilderness, and let us see that when the vultures will, the released vultures will prepare their own nest and they will breed in nature. That time it is the real success. So that is the thing exactly going to happen in the Assam also. So thank you very much. Thank you for inviting, and thank you for being so much patience. Thank you. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can kindly ask.
Hello, I'm Dr. Prasanta Kumar Boro. I work with your colleague, actually, Deposit.
Yes.
There was one photograph with our Kushal Sharma sir.
Sure.
During 2007, some vultures from Upper Assam. Actually, at that time I was working as a veterinarian in WTI, Wildlife Trust of India. So I handed over as per Forest Department's guideline to your organization. Just I want to request you how to do the sexing of the birds. I think they will learn.
Right. So first of all, I must thank sir, and you are very lucky that such a wonderful person is with you. You must be hearing wonderful experiences of his adventures in WTI and the tiger incidences and all that thing. So it was really nice to meet you, sir, here. And all of you are welcome to the VCBC. Talking about sexing, there are two things. One is the simplest one, that when you are keeping the bird in the captivity, you can see them mating. The one below is female, the one above is the male. Okay? But in nature, there are some abnormalities, and that also don't tell you that whether they are really male female. It may lay one egg also. Then also you are not sure that one is female and the other one is male. When it is a fertile egg, then only you know that the other one was male and this one was the female. To understand really what is the sex of the bird, we use molecular technique. In male, in human being, it is a what system XY, isn't it? We have 46 chromosomes. All of you are aware. In vultures, it is ZO. Okay. So when you take a drop of blood, you separate the DNA and do a PCR, you find different bands. So in that case, you find the difference and you can differentiate between male and female. Nowadays, there are some institutes which are now doing it at a very minimal rate, and they can identify the sex of particular birds. Only the thing is that they need those primer. So particularly for the gyps vultures, we need those primer, and then you can run the PCR. You can particularly increase the number of particular that sequence, and if it is the male, it will be. If it is a male, then there will be 2 bands. If it is a female, there will be 1 band. Okay, so that bands you can tell you what is the sex. And for your information, there is one institute called one company called RANADE. It works in Hyderabad, and you can take a drop of blood, put it on the filter paper, parcel the thing to the company, and you can get it identified. So that is the way. Thank you. Anybody? No question? आम्ही लागेल नाही की बोल हाँ बाकी दिन तो आम्ही होगून ऐकत सुना नाही आज एकदम 1 घंटा माझ्यात इमान होगून करिले हाँ
it was really a very nice presentation. I think all enjoyed the presentation, right?
Yes, sir.
We learned a lot, many things actually. Just I wanted to know what is the current population at this Vulture Rani Center.
Rani Center we have 180 birds now.
And how many you have already released to wild?
No, this year we are going to release.
So far you have not
Yes,
released?
so far we have not released. Actually, whatever born in captivity, that we have not released. But last 10 years almost, whenever we are rescuing the birds, we are releasing them systematically with ringing and all that thing. But the birds from our captive breeding, we have not released in Rani. For that purpose, we need to start, we have to construct one separate aviary. So, near our center, this year we have got land. We have constructed one near our center, so that is in the Rani block, and one we are constructing near you, and there we have got some land in the 6th edition of the Kaziranga. So at Nagkesar we have got some land. We are constructing the release aviary, and soon it will be completed. And this year we'll start releasing from both these centers. So 510 birds will start release, and all of them will be tagged with a transmitter and all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I wanted to ask you one question. Nowadays, people are getting too much aware about disposal of carcass. Like we ourselves suggest burial, incineration, and people do bury their carcasses nowadays. So, is it now the scenario that the food availability of the vulture in the current scenario, is it accessible, or is it we are having problem, or do the vulture return to the centers in search of food? Like in the wild, it's tough, and in the conservation center, the food is regular, but in the wild, it's tough or something like that. Is it the case?
Nice question. So yes, nowadays the food is becoming scarce, but we are, as I have shown one of the slide, we are carrying out the food availability survey. So particularly in Assam, there are sufficient cattle carcasses thrown outside. Okay. Only the thing is that for Assam, the biggest danger is the putting poison on the cattle carcasses. Otherwise, food is there. How can we find out it? Either direct observation, whether there are cattle carcasses, one thing. Secondly, why in Assam there are a lot of Himalayan vultures coming in the winter season, and how they are thriving. Since there are very few vultures in Assam, the resident one, the white rump vulture and the slender-wing vulture. Even in winter, there are thousands of vultures coming from Himalayas as well as from the Europe, and they are thriving well. They spend all the 4-5 months here, and they are thriving well. Why? Because they are getting the food. And which food? It is mainly the livestock carcasses thrown outside. The second thing is that why there are so many poisoning incidences? That means people are throwing carcasses outside. That is the possibility. As the carcasses are thrown outside, that's why there are some mishap or incidences are occurring. So that means food is there. Only the thing is that we have to make them safe. And for that purpose, I have suggested, we have started one pilot program also, but it is still a very nascent program, that we are asking people of one area, suppose 5 to 6 villages, to dump their cattle carcass at one location. In other part of India, just like a human graveyard, we call it SACHIN, there used to be a facility for the cattle carcasses. In Haryana side, it is called as Hadda Rodi, or in English, it is called as carcass dump. It is the dump where the other garbage is not dumped. Only the cattle carcasses are dumped. So such things should be practiced. And the cattle carcasses of particular area should be dumped at one location. So that will make the food source safe food source for the vulture. And vultures will also know. They are very intelligent. It is the question of their food, their everyday routine. So vultures will then come back. They will get food from that location, and then that's why we are calling it as a vulture restaurant. Just like humans restaurant, it will be a restaurant for vultures. So all these things we have to do. As human being is evolving, we are not paying attention to the evolution or the facility for the other animals or other wildlife. We are just complaining that the tiger is coming out, the deers are coming out, the wild boars are coming out. So everything is coming out. Why? Because we have to think the management, and that management we have to improve. So in case of vultures, what they feed on? They feed on the cattle carcasses. So let us dump it at one safe location. It should not be put any poison or anything else, and it should not be available for the dogs also. Okay? So if we take that much care, then it will be a good source for vulture. Vulture don't want anything else. And for last 10,000 years, the vultures are with human beings. Okay? When the human evolution started, that time human was hunter-gatherer. That time we were taking the meat of the dead animal only, or the sometime when we used to be able to kill some animals. So smaller animal we used to kill, but the bigger elephant-like animals, human used to take advantage of vultures. When vultures were circling, human used to follow that, and some meat we used to take out from that carcasses. And that time human being and vultures were the enemy or competent. Yeah. But as there is a evolution, humans started doing the agriculture and keeping animals. Now we are friends with the vultures. And whatever dead animals, we are throwing it outside. Vultures are feeding on that. So that is a very good system basically India has. Unfortunately, it was destroyed at some time, but we should start it again, and we should follow it that way. Thank you.
So thank you for the wonderful presentation. While I was reading through your template, I came across the term hospital aviary, which made me think that there must be involvement of veterinarians in your society. So as a final year student, I want to ask you, if I were to apply to your society, if I were to involve as a veterinarian in your society, what will be the procedure and what are the various scopes and what are the various works that a veterinarian goes through in your society to work for the vulture conservation?
I belong to the society called Bombay Naturalistic Society. So everybody is having mobile. If you will see bnhs.org or bnhs.org, then you can reach to our site. At that site, you will see there are various options. If you want to do some career, you can open that part and you can that tab and you can see that there are frequently some advertisement. If you want to apply, you can apply there itself, or you can directly write to me also. My email address is there. Yeah, the site is also there, www.bnhs.org. So at that site you can see when there is some position, it is displayed there. And even if there is no position, then you can write to me officially that you are interested in doing something or the other. Either even somebody of maybe your colleague want to do some internship or some other work also. So you can write me, and through proper channels I will arrange for the next procedure. So that is there. So when we take a veterinarian, I am happy that so far at least 15 to 16 veterinarians I have worked with for the Vulture program, and almost 12 to 13 of them were from Assam only. So all those were Assamese guys. So as you say, Debojit was our first veterinarian. He came in 2003. Afterward, Jahrul Islam came. Many of them are there. So I can name all of them. So a lot of them were there, and all of them did a really wonderful job. And recently Timung was there, and a lot of Saikia was there. So all of them were from the veterinary college, and all of them were Assamese. What they did, so when you are assigned as a veterinarian for VCBC, Vulture Conservation Breeding Center, you have to take care of their health. You have to take their vultures routinely, blood testing, fecal analysis, overall body checkup. All these things you have to carry out. When there is some disease, then you have to get it isolated, then you carry out the test, then you have to treat it. That thing you are doing in the VCBC. When you are working with the Vulture project only, but in situ programs, that time we send you to the carcass dump. There you have to observe if vultures are feeding there. If there are cattle carcasses there, you have to collect some sample of liver. We mash it. We take an extract in the acetonitrite. We have a good tie-up with the SACHIN in South India. With them, we carry out different testing for the different kind of problems like NSAIDs, other pesticides, poisons, all these kind of experiments we are doing. Yeah, one thing I forgot. There is one wonderful work going on is the safety testing. Right from the inception of VCBC, we are working on the medicines, because that time we knew that the diclofenac is a dangerous thing. So we did all the, we understood everything, all fact about diclofenac right from all experiments. We have carried out in the BNHS, and in that the veterinarians played a very important role. So you can see the papers by Debojit also. You can see when we rescue the bird, we have opportunistically taken some blood samples, and you can see paper by Parag Devri and one madam from the, there was a team from the veterinary college in Khanapara. So we have published the hematology of the Himalayan vulture. So the different parameters, different values we have worked on. So that thing is going on. So different things are going on with the veterinarian. So when we are working on the vulture safe zone, the veterinarian has to convince the other veterinarians that what are the good medicines, which are the bad medicines, what is the effect, what is the COX-1, COX-2, I don't know. Do you know what is COX-1, COX-2? Huh? What is that? Anyway, so that thing the veterinarians have to discuss among them, and they have to talk about that, and they have to come to some conclusion. Now I am working with one veterinarian, and he is working a lot on the Ayurvedic medicine. So as the allopathic is dangerous for human beings, many a time we have heard that the Ayurveda is very good for the human being. So the same thing is for the animals also. So we are working with that fellow, he is South Indian. So with him we are working on the Ayurvedic medicine. So different things can be done. And since when you are handling a bird, we are keeping it, every time the veterinarian is necessary. So in situ as well as ex situ, the veterinaries have played a great role. Even veterinarians have played a great role in the decline. Am I right? Who used the diclofenac? Anyway, that time people didn't know about the thing. But the veterinarians only have found out that the diclofenac has causing this decline. Okay? So the two fellows, they were Americans who have found the diclofenac as a dangerous thing. So Mr. Oak and Lindsay Oak and Martin Gilbert were working on this pharmacology. So Mr. Oak is no more, but Martin Gilbert a wonderful veterinarian, still working, spearheading lot of research in the Europe. So sometimes you read about the blog by Martin Gilbert, and read it. It is very interesting. So you are very lucky people. I also had got a chance to join veterinary college, but I unfortunately that time took some another decision, and I joined the plain zoology. Anyway, something was written here, but veterinarians have a greater power that they can handle the bird. If they find there is something wrong, they have the authority to give some medicine. They have authority to treat it. Okay, so you are great people. You have great opportunity. Even though you may not everybody joining VCDC, at your position wherever you may go. One of my colleague, he become veterinarian, so he is the head of the research center, government research center. He is a veterinarian. His name is Ranjit Magdum, working in the Pune lab. So there are a lot of people, and they are doing some good bit on their own. And the life is a jigsaw puzzle. So you have to make your position or your thing rightfully, and the whole world will turn a right picture. Okay, so be positive, do something, not only for vultures, maybe for elephant, maybe for tigers, maybe for other unknown species, snakes, cobras, zebras, whatever maybe you would like, you can do it, and there is a great opportunity in front. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful presentation, and your words has reminded us that if science is combined with commitment, then we can bring back lives to the sky. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to request Dr. Nayanjyoti Pathak, sir, to kindly offer the certificate of appreciation to Mr. Sachin Ranade, sir,